Hello students, welcome to my live teaching learning session of MMPC 16. Today we will discuss about block 3, unit 7, 8 and 9 and block 4, international business finance and marketing. You know that your paper name is International Business Management. How business can manage if you are doing international trade with rest of the world. At present, all the economies are open economies and they are doing trade with rest of the world. And all countries, most of the countries are globalized, so that each and every country is following this international trade process. So what are the international business strategies and how international business strategies work, and what are the main sources of international business finance and marketing strategy? So in this today's session, we will discuss about all these things which are related with international business management. So let us start from international business strategy. International business strategy guides the operation of a business in international market. There are four types of strategy. Number one is international strategy. Number two is multi-domestic strategy. Number three is global strategy. And number four is transnational strategy. So international business strategy can be classified into four groups. One is international. This strategy mainly focuses on imports and exports and usually have their headquarters in home country. General challenge faced in this are managing global logistic, adhering to foreign regulations, setting up overseas offices, and more. For example, wine producers from France and Italy. So they are mainly focuses on import and export, but their headquarters mainly exist in their home country. Next is multi-domestic business strategy. Here, business focuses on local market and have a decentralized structure. These have headquarters in home as well as in foreign countries and hence operate independently with little interference from central headquarters. It makes big investment in modification of products. For example, Nestle, Kraft Heinz, etc. So it is known as multi-domestic, in which business focuses on local market and have a decentralized structure. And their headquarters exist in home country as well as in foreign country because it is related with multi-domestic. Next is global. Global is totally inverse or opposite of multi-domestic strategy. It leverages economies of scale to extend reach and sales, also called as hub and spoke model, focuses on both home and foreign operations. For example, software and pharma companies. They are known as global business strategy. So it is just opposite to multi-domestic strategy because it leverages economies of scale. What is economies of scale? Economies of scale a firm can get when firm is increasing their business size. If firm is operating in a large size business operation, then firm can get some internal and external economies of scale. And to extend their sales and they can reach in home country, they can sell their product in home country as well as in abroad. So this global market strategy is known as hub and it focuses on home and foreign operations. Next, fourth is transnational. Transnational is most complicated strategy. It is a combo of or combination of global and multi-domestic strategy. So transnational strategy is the combination of global strategy and multi-domestic strategy. And every market have its separate marketing, research and development department to focus on local customers. For example, General Electric and Toyota. So these are the four main types of international business strategies. And generally, these strategies guide the operation of a business in international market. Now, next is the strategy of international business. What type of strategy used by international business operators? First is strategic positioning. A central tenet of the basic strategy paradigm is that in order to maximize its long run return on invested capital, a firm must pick a position on the efficiency frontier that is viable in the sense that there is enough demand to support that choice. Configure its internal operations so that they support the position, make sure that the firm has the right organization structure in place to execute its strategy. So the strategic positioning is mainly called the strategy paradigm that in order to maximize its long run return on invested capital, a firm must pick a position on the efficiency frontier. It means we should use available resources in an efficient manner so that we can fulfill the required demand of the market and we can produce more output at least cost to fulfill the requirement of the consumers. Now, next is theory of internationalization. What is the meaning of this theory of internationalization? This internationalization means when we improve the relationship with rest of the world and we are not limiting our trade only in domestic area. If we are doing trade with rest of the world, then that is called internationalization. And you know that at present all the economies are open economies, no one is closed. But in ancient time period, economies were closed. They did not have any relationship with the rest of the world. But at present, all economies are open. So internationalization theory was developed to provide an economic rationale for the existence of multinational enterprises. And multinational enterprises are those enterprises which which do their business operation in their home country as well as in abroad. So multinational corporations are those corporations which are available in a giant size and they are doing business operations in most of the developing countries and underdeveloped countries where population is in large numbers, demand is more, but they have less resources to fulfill the requirements of the country people, so that they invite multinational corporations to start their business in their home country and uh, they provide jobs and employment opportunities to the unemployed person. So this internationalization theory resets on two general axioms. One is firm chooses the least cost location for each activity they perform. You know that every producer want to gain maximum profit at minimum cost. So internationalization theory was developed to provide the economic rationale for the existence of multinational corporations, and multinational corporations generally set their business in that particular country or in that host country where they can minimize their cost for each activity which they perform. And second is firms grow by internationalizing market up to the point where the benefit of further internationalization are outweighed by the cost. So this theory mainly focuses that while doing international businesses, if you are operating international businesses, then you must have to focus on that location, to choose that location and to establish their business enterprises in those countries where cost should be minimized and profit should be maximized. Next is firm based theories of international business expansion. There are some theories of international business expansions in which first is foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment is that investment which is made by foreign companies in developing and underdeveloped or less developed countries. At present, with the help of globalization, foreign direct investment limit is going to increase. In India, FDI limit, which was earlier in 1956 industrial policy, FDI limit was only 40%, but in 1991 industrial policy, India has adopted that FDI, 51% FDI can be permitted for for all types of industries. But in some specific industries, 74% FDI is permitted. And for others, 100% FDI is permitted with automatic route without taking any permission from the government and without any restrictions or hurdles, FDI can be permitted. So FDI, foreign direct investment theory, was developed by S. Heimer in which 1960 to 1976. Next is international product life cycle theory of international business. It was presented by Vernon in 1966. Next is transaction cost theory. It was developed by Williamson in 1975. Learning theory, it was developed by Johansson and Vahlenay in 1977. Theory of internationalization, it was presented by Rogman in 1979. Competitive advantage theory, on which international trade mainly based on this competitive advantage or comparative cost advantage theory, and it was developed by Porter in 1980. And next is eclectic theory. It was presented by Dunning in 1980. So these are firm-based theories of international business expansion, and here on the left hand side the name of theories are given, and on right hand side authors who propounded these theories, their name are mentioned. Next is comparison of internationalization theory. Here some methods of internationalizations are like Upasla view, eclectic view, network view, and entrepreneur international entrepreneur view. First is Upasala view. Here it stings mode progression from regular exporting and exporting via partners to overseas manufacturing start with low physic distance to higher. It means this theory states that while doing international businesses, firstly, we have to export with our partner countries. Then we should increase our international business with the low physic distance to higher distance mode. Next is athletic view. This view mainly presented that the advantages are more higher when propensity to consume, where propensity to consume is higher. The more international business mainly performed well in those nations where the location is good and where all the facilities which are necessary for starting the business enterprise enterprises that is available, the international businesses expand in that particular areas. Next is network view. This is the view of establishment of relationship in countries network and development of those relationships in those network. Connect those network in different countries. If you are connecting with other countries, then you can perform your business activities internationally and you can get advantages through international business operations. Next is international entrepreneur view. International entrepreneur view with more prior experiential knowledge of international market will identify, enact, and take entrepreneurial activities through the firm. So these are four methods of internationalization. One is Upasla view, which is mainly focuses that we should improve our international businesses from lower distance area to higher distance area, and athletic view mainly presented that we can get more advantages if the entry mode is suitable in host countries, and when entry mode is suitable and easily we can enter in other developing nations, then we can establish our more branches in less developed countries and start there and start our business operation in that countries. Network view says that we should improve our network connectivity with different countries, and if we connected with rest of the world very rapid rate, then we can improve our international business operations. And international entrepreneurial view says that we should get more and more information through international business entrepreneurs who are engaged in business activities from the long time period. So if we get information through those entrepreneurs, then we can do more successful business operations in present world. Next is global market entry strategies. How a firm or any business enterprises can enter into the global market. What type of strategy we have to follow while entering our business enterprises in global market. First is manufacturing at home. If you are manufacturing product in your home country and exporting in rest of the world, this is the first way to enter in global market. Second is if manufacturing is done in abroad but contractually or through franchising, licensing, manufacturing, management contracts, and turnkey projects. Through these contractual agreements, you can enter in global market. And third strategy is investment entry. You can invest your money in overseas, or you can invest your money through FDI in rest of the world, and through acquisition or joint venture you can enter in global market. So any business enterprises who are willing to enter in global market, they can follow these three strategies, and one is manufacturing at home, second is manufacturing abroad but contractually they can enter in global market, and if they are manufacturing product at home country, then exporting directly or indirectly or piggybacking, they can enter in global market, and through investment entry they can enter in global market via FDI, overseas assembly, acquisition, and through joint ventures. So these are the global market entry strategies. Now next is organizational structure. What is the meaning of organizational structure? Organizational structure is a system that outlines how certain activities are directed in order to achieve the goals of an organization. Business organization has some different types of structure. So, organizational structure is a system which outlines how certain business activities are directed in order to achieve the goal of an institution or an organization. This is known as organizational structure. Next is there are so many types of organizational structure. Types of organization structures are basically classified into four groups. One is functional organizational structure, second is matrix organizational structure, third is projectized organization structure, and fourth is composite. Composite is the mixture of different types of organizational structure. So first is functional organizational structure. This first type is that structure in a bureaucratic organizational, it is known as bureaucratic organizational structure. It divides the company two into departments like purchase department, sales department, and finance department, and different types of department which work in business enterprises. Functional organizational structure mainly classify the company's main functions into some specific departments. So functional department is a bureaucratic organization structure which divides the company or any organizational functions into departments. Second is matrix organization structure. In this structure, reporting relationships are established as a matrix. You know that in a business organizational, there is a top management level, medium management level, and lower management level, and some subordinates who work at top level of management, under the top level of management. So what type of relationship between managers and employees and subordinates and their leader, group leader? So matrix organization structure mainly tells us about the relationship, how relationships are established in form of a matrix. Third is projectized organization structure. It is established specifically for a project. The project team members work under the management of the project manager. So projectized organization structure mainly established when we have to complete a project of the business enterprises, and the project team members work under the management of the project manager. And next is composite. Composite is a combination of other types of organizational structure. So these are the four types of organizational structure. One is functional, second is matrix, third is projectized, and fourth is composite. Now next is executively. Executives rely on vertical and horizontal linkages to create structure that they hope will match the firm's need. While no two while two organization structures are exactly alike, four general types of structures are available to execute. One is simple structure, second is functional structure, third is multi-divisional structure, and fourth is matrix structure. So these are four types of structure. We can explain in a different way of all these organizational structure. Number one is simple structure. Here simple structure do not rely on formal system of division of labor, and organizational charts are not generally needed in case of simple structure. If the firm is a sole proprietorship in which only one person manage, control, and operate all the business activities. One person perform all the tasks that the organization needs to accomplish. Consequently, this structure is common for many small businesses. So this is known as simple structure, which is mainly applicable in case of sole proprietorship, where only a single person manage all the business activities. Second is functional structure. Function structure, within this function structure, employees are divided into departments that each handles activities related to a functional area of the business, such as marketing department, purchase department, production department, human resource department, information technology department, and customer services. In this functional structure, we can divide employees into these departments so that they can easily handle all those activities which are related with their department very smoothly, and they can operate all business activities in a very efficient manner. Third is multi-divisional structure. Multi-divisional structure, in this type of structure, employees are divided into departments based on product areas and geographic regions. General Electric, for example, has six product division. One is energy, second is capital, third is home and business solution, fourth is healthcare, fifth is aviation, and sixth is transportation. So, in this type of structure, employees are divided into departments which are based on product areas and or geographic regions. Next is matrix structure. In this structure, firms that engage in project of limited duration time period often use a matrix structure where employees can be put on different teams to maximize creativity and ideas flow. As parodied in the movie Office Space, this structure is common in high technological and engineering firms. So these are the main types of organizational structure. Next is strategic alliances. What is the meaning of these strategic alliances? Now we have studied about international business strategies. Now here we are discussing that how firms can collaborate and how firms can mutually agree to enter into a specific uh, alliances in which, so strategic alliances is just an arrangement between two companies or more than two companies to mutually undertake a beneficial project while each retains its independence. Alliance means grouping. Alliance means not only through merger or acquisition, firms can enlarge their size. Some strategy they can follow for alliances. So strategic alliances is an arrangement between two companies or more than two companies to undertake a mutually beneficial project while each retains its independence or without ignoring the independence of the business firm. Strategic alliances, mainly cooperative agreements, it's generally known as cooperative agreements between potential or actual competitors. It has so many advantages. One is it facilitates entry into the market. Through this strategic alliances, firms can enter into the market and they can share if all firms get together, if all firms meet together in a same business, they can share fixed cost of production and they bring together skills and asset that neither company has or can develop if only a single company which has very limited money income that can't operate all business activities with less capital efficiently. So if other firms also meet together and they can involve with the other companies and they bring uh, together skills and asset, then they can establish more uh, products and their goodwill in the market. So, strategic alliances are necessary to establish industry technology standards, and there are some disadvantages of strategic alliances. Uh, Here, some disadvantages are like competitors get low cost route to technology and market. So, these are the advantages and disadvantages of strategic alliances. Next is strategic alliances is an agreement between two entities or two business firms to pool their resources for achieving a common business goal. What type of strategic alliances exist? There are two types of strategic alliances present generally. One is horizontal strategic alliances, and second is vertical strategic alliances. And ways to enter in strategic alliances, what are the different ways through which a firm can enter in other business enterprises? A firm can enter in other business enterprises through joint venture or equity participation or non-equity participation. So these are the criteria through which a firm can enter in strategic alliances. And what are the reasons behind this? Why firms need these strategic alliances while doing international business? So there are some specific reasons for strategic alliances. Number one is gaining an access to a restricted market like China. uh, you know that China's economy is socialist economy. All the activities are controlled and managed by government or state. And if in China there is a restricted market, but if you want to gain access in that type of country where so many restrictions are put by government, but through strategic alliances you can get advantages in that type of countries also. Gaining a foothold in new market. And third is increase the speed of development of new projects or products. Next is maintain leadership positions. Next is leverage upon the benefits of like economies of scale, least cost combination, and to improve research and development activities, and to gain market power, especially pricing power. Next, to gain access to know-how of technology, and to pool the resources like large fund capital intensive projects uh, through strategic alliances. This can be possible, and gaining competitive advantages against competitor. So these are the reason behind for in strategic alliances. Next is there are three types of strategic alliances. One is non-equity strategy alliances. Next is equity strategic alliances, and third is joint venture. Non-equity strategic alliances mainly tells us that if two or more firms develop a contractual relationship to share some of their unique resources and capabilities, then they can enter in strategic alliances. Second is equity strategic alliances. In this, partners who own different percentage of equity or shares in a separate company, they have formed their strategic alliance. Next is joint venture. Two or more firms create a legally independent company by sharing some of their resources and capabilities. So these are the three different types of strategic alliances: non-equity, equity, and through joint venture, they can make strategic alliances for gaining more advantages through international business. Now, next is key factors of strategic alliances. There are some key factors which involved in strategic alliances. That is, first of all, we have to select the proper partner for the intended goal, because if we choose bad partner for our business organization, and then we can't achieve our goal of the business enterprises. So we must have to select the proper partner for the intended goal. Second is share the right information. Third is negotiate a deal that includes risk and benefits. Next is come to a realistic agreement on the time. Next is mutual, flexible commitment on what's suitable to change, measure, and share with each partner's culture. Respect and protect the brand of each partner. So these are main key factors of strategic alliances. If we are involving with other companies, and we are inviting some other companies in our business enterprises, then we must have to keep in mind that there are some key factors which affects the strategic alliances. We must keep in mind that we should select proper partner for intended goal, and we should share the right information and negotiate a deal with risk, which includes risk and benefits also. And we should enter in this strategic alliances with a realistic agreement on that on the time. And this agreement should be mutual, flexible commitment which is suitable to change and measures and share within each partner's culture. And we should respect and protect the brand of each partner. Next is strategic alliances in traditional joint ventures and at modern form strategic alliances. Traditionally, strategic alliances was known as joint venture, but at present, in a modern scenario, this is known as strategic alliances. So, traditional joint ventures formed by a senior MNCs in an industrialized country and a junior local partner in a less developed countries. Its main goal is to gain market access for existing products. But in modern form, strategic alliances increasingly formed between firms in industrialized countries, and its main focus in the creation of new product, not to gain access in existing product. Its main focus is to create new products and technologies rather than the distribution of existing ones. In traditional joint venture, senior partners provides existing product and junior partners provide local marketing expertise, overcomes protectionist barriers, governmental contacts. But in a modern form of strategic alliances, often forced during industry transition, when the competitive positions are shifting from the and the very basic for building and sustaining competitive advantage is being defined. In a joint venture, both partners benefited. Senior partner achieved increased sales volume, and local firms gained access to new products and learn new skills. So there are different two types of strategic alliances. One is in a modern aspect. It's a modern form of strategic alliances which are existing at present, but traditionally it was known as joint venture. Next is types of strategic alliances are like franchising, licensing, management contracts, uh, turnkey projects, partnering with suppliers, pooled purchasing, partnering with distributor. These are the different types of strategic alliances. Franchising, you know that franchising pay a setup fee and agree to ongoing payment. So the process is financially risk free for the company. However, problems do exist, particularly with the loss of control over how franchises run their franchise. So, franchising is a process in which The franchisor will pay franchisees pay a setup fee and agree to ongoing payment. So the process will be risk free, financially risk free for the company. But it has some disadvantages also, because some problems may exist with the loss of control over the how franchises run their franchise. Next is direct export. It represents the basic entry mode which capitalize on economies of scale in production concentrated in the home country and creating place utility in distribution from such concentrated production. A firm can directly enter in the business enterprises for doing direct export. It means if a firm is manufacturing in a home country, and they can directly enter in global market through direct export. And next is indirect export. It's a form of exporting which is done through trade intermediaries. Third is licensing. Licensing is a mode of entry where the licensor or franchisor, usually the owner of the title, sells the right of intellectual property such as patent or technical know-how to the licensee franchisee for royalty. Next is turnkey projects. A turnkey projects is a contractual agreements where the firm operates on build operation and transfer mechanism and hand over it to the transferee when ready. And research and development contracts are those contracts in which firms entered into with some specific purpose of pursuing some kind of research and development activity. So these are the different forms of strategic alliances. Now, how we can manage this strategic alliances? First of all, we should select a good partner, selecting the right partner for uh, our business enterprises who help a firm to achieve its strategic goals like market access, cost sharing, product development, gain access to core competencies, share the firm's vision for alliances, and complement each other, not exploit for opportunity gains. Alliance structure, it must be structured in a way to safeguard individuals' interest, and difficult to transfer technology not meant to be transferred. Guard against the risk of opportunism by partner, and ensuring chances of equitable gains, and extracting a significant credible con- commitments from partners in advance. So in this way, we can manage strategic alliances through partner selection and alliances structure. How strategic alliances create value? Strategic alliances can give more value to the business environment, business firms while shaping the competitive environment. It facilitates technological standards. Partners may agree on a standard and avoid a market battle for the standard. Next is facilitating tech collusion. Collusion means when a firms cooperate to each other, that is called collusion. Or partners may communicate within an alliances in subtle legal ways, whereas the same communication between competitors outside an alliances would be illegal. So these are the strategic alliances ways through which a alliance can create some specific value in a competitive business environment. Now next is regional trade blocks. This is also related with international business management trade topics. What are the regional trade blocks? Regional trade blocks are intergovernmental association that manage and promote trade activities for specific regions of the world. Major trade blocks are like European Union, NAFTA, NAFTA means North American Free Trade Agreements, and Mercosur, yani it means Mercado Communal Conocer, also known as Southern Common Markets. Next is Asian Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Next is SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperations. These are major trade blocs. Regional integrations are like free trade area, it is known as FTA, and custom union, which is free trade within plus common external tariff. Tariff is import duties. Common market is means custom union plus free exchange of labor and capital. Economic union means common market plus common economic policies. Economic integration refers to economic union plus common social policies and a supranational authority. So, in this way, regional integration is possible. Now, what is Asian ASEAN? It is established in 1992. Total six members like Singapore, Brunei, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia enter in this agreement and to establish a common effective preferential tariffs CEPT. C is common, E is effective, P is preferential tariff plan. To CEPT, this plan allows for tariffs ranging from 0.50% to 20% beginning with 15 products. In 1994, Asian countries formed AFTA in order to, it means Asian Free Trade Agreement, in order to develop in Asian trade. Free trade area and custom union. What is the difference between this free trade area? In free trade area is very least restrictions are imposed by government and loosest form of economic integration among countries. But custom union, in this members of a custom union dismantle barriers to trade in goods and services among themselves. In a free trade area, all barriers to trade among member countries are removed. But in common union, a custom union establishes a common trade policy with respect to non-members. Next is main benefits of trading blocks. There are some benefits which is which we can get through these trading blocks. Number one is an increase in foreign direct investment results from trade blocks and benefit the economies of participating nation. Second benefit is larger market we can create via trading blocks, permit economies of scale. Third is trading blocks bring businesses in numerous countries closer together, so resulting in greater competition. Next is trading bloc seeks to reduce protectionist and to encourage uh, free trade agreements, and it measures such as tariff and quota tariffs which should stimulate greater demand within the trading blocks. And next advantage is the combination of greater competition, FDI, economies of scale, and greater trade should result in a more efficient market. Now, next is what is international finance? All these things are related with your international business management, because in international business management you have studied about what is the meaning of international trade and how it is differ from domestic trade, and what type of strategy they can enter in global market business operations, and what are the different strategies of strategic alliances. And now we are studying here that what is the meaning of international finance. International finance is the process of transferring fund from surplus economic unit to deficient economic unit when any of these unit is located outside a national country. International finance is the branch of economics that studies the dynamics of exchange rate, foreign investment, and how these affect international trade. You know that International Monetary Fund is the main source of finance in global market. Its main history of IMF is it contracted Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944. When 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement contracted, then IMF created in 1946. It started to make services with the IBRD. IBRD is International Bank for Reconstruction and Development in 1947. Its main purpose is to make the price of foreign money to be safe. IMF can solve the problems of countries that doesn't want to allow the foreign money to make their currencies value higher. And IMF can stop the consequent bankruptcy of the world economic market. The World Bank is an agency of the United Nations. World Bank is a group of five organizations which focuses on providing funds for projects aimed at alleviating poverty, inequality, and promoting development. Currently, it has 184 members. Next is reason for entering international market. What are the reasons behind in enter into the international market? Why business enterprises always interested to enter in international markets? Because first reason is that growth. You know that each and every country wants to achieve higher growth. Each and every business enterprises want to achieve more growth in their business operations, more growth in their business enterprises. So to achieve this growth, if they enter into the international market, then they can get high growth rate of their business. Second is profitability. You know that producers' main goal is to earn maximum profit at minimum cost, and it can be possible when we enter our business enterprises in international market. And achieving economies of scale when we enlarge our business activities and we are selling our product not in only domestic area, we are trading all the products in abroad also, then we can enlarge our business activities, and through expansion of this business activities we can get so many types of economies of scale, like internally and externally we can get advantages. And through this international business or international markets, risk is spread out, so that if risk spreads, then profit will increase. And it accesses to imported inputs. We can access those imports which are not available in our country. Then through international markets or international business operations, we can access those type of technology which is not available in our country. We can import these imports from rest of the world. And uniqueness of product or services, we can make our product unique in our the world through entering international market. And marketing opportunities due to life cycle, we can get marketing opportunities, and we can spreading the research and development cost all over the world. So these are the reason behind the entering in international market. Now next is EPRG framework. This EPRG framework is known as ethnocentric. E means ethnocentric, G means geocentric, P is polycentric, and R is regiocentric. The main idea is to target global consumers who have similar taste, to borrow from every country what is best. It is known as geocentric. And ethnocentric is that do not adopt their product to the needs and wants of the other countries where they have operation. It means polycentric refers to equal importance to every country's domestic market, believe in uniqueness of every market. And regiocentric tells us that economic, cultural, or political similarities among regions. So this is the framework of EPRG. Next is international markets. International market is that market which is which works in internationally when one company trades or markets outside its home market. That is called international market. International market has so many advantages like importance, like increase growth and sales, increase accessibility, rise in the local free deal areas, increased availability of capital and labor, development in communication technology. And what are the challenges? Challenges are like foreign rules and regulations, international accounting, cost calculation and pricing strategy, currency fluctuations, cultural disparity, and communication gap. So, how we can overcome these challenges? If we make effective planning and effectively implemented, then we can overcome this problem. Proper application of marketing principles and accurate market identification, targeting, and decisions. Next is conclusion. In today's session, we have discussed about international trade and what type of strategic alliances exist in our country, how firms can enter in global market business activities, what are the different types of strategic alliances, and we have studied about organizational structure, what type of structure exists in each and every firm, and what type of structure we have to follow so that we can get more benefits through this international business activities. In this in today's session, we have also discussed about international marketing system, what type of international marketing system exists in our economy, and how a firm can get advantages through entering in international business activities. So, in this session, international finances, we have studied about what are the important roles of trade blocks or regional trade blocks, which helps in the promotion of increasing the product and selling product in abroad. So in this unit, block 3 and block 4, we have studied about international business operations, international marketing, international finance, sources of international finance, IMF, World Bank, FDI. These are the main source through which we can get financial facilities for running our business operations. And here, foreign exchange rate is also very important. Foreign exchange rate is that rate at which we can convert one country's currency into another country's currency. And foreign trade basically of two types, fixed and flexible. Fixed exchange rate is that rate which is fixed by the government, but at present, fixed exchange rate is abolished or not going on. At present, flexible exchange rate is going on, which is determined through the forces of demand and supply of the dollar, and where both come intersect each other, flexible exchange rate is determined. So we can trade with the rest of the world very easily at present because countries are globalized and all countries are interested to gain maximum advantages through international trade. So we can conclude that once a firm has decided to go international, it has different alternatives to choose. It has different alternatives to choose amongst for getting the entry into the foreign markets. The choice depends very much on the resources of the firm and the market potentials for its product in the importing country. New systems and techniques are evolved and developed to conduct international business from time to time. So, In this session, we have discussed all these things like international trade, international trade strategies, business structure, organization structure, trade blocks, regional trade blocks, custom union, free trade agreement, protectionist trade agreement, Asian, NAFTA, uh, South Asian countries, what is the difference between free trade area and custom union, international marketing system, and international finance sources. So, in this session, we have completed all these topics, and I hope that you can understand this international business management, how a firm can do better in international market, and a firm can get more advantages while doing international business operations. Thank you.